Hey there, everyone. Chris Mack here, and today's episode is probably not going to make me any friends, but we'll see how it goes. Let me start off with some ground rules here for this video, or some concepts that we should keep track of. First, this is going to be a podcast style video, so if you want to put this down and just listen to it rather than watching it, totally cool. Please do so. It's going to be slightly longer. Second thing is that I'm going to be discussing the 3 different types of preppers. And then lastly, this video is in response to a comment that I received on one of my previous videos, and we'll get to that later. Okay, first and foremost, let's define the 3 types of preppers. We have the first type of prepper, which is what I fall into, and for simplification of terms, Joshua over at Reasonably Prepared, the title of his channel has defined this as well as you can get. People who are reasonably prepared. And as I describe the second group, and there's a compare and contrast, you'll understand what I'm talking about a little bit more. But the first group of preppers, and again, I fall into this category, but I wouldn't still consider myself a prepper by any means, based on what I'm trying to explain here. And this is a group of people who are reasonably prepared. And I'm also going to throw a link to one of my favorite videos of Joshua, because he kind of helps define this in the intro of that video of, you'll see, just please go check out his video and his channel. He's a really great guy. But these are folks who are prepared, but not too much. They are reasonably prepared. And what I mean by that is that where Joshua lives, he has to worry about hurricanes. Where I live, I need to worry about heavy snow conditions. So it's not a bad idea to have maybe an additional 2 weeks to a month worth of food and or water stored up, because depending on supply chains and bad weather or things of that nature, you might need to actually be self-reliant on yourself for a couple of days until conditions get better or additional resources come in to be taken care of. Also about having appropriate gear in your vehicle. Do you have the ability to change and or fix a tire? Do you have a couple of snacks? Do you have some water somewhere? If you've got kids, do you got an extra pack of wipes and things like that? Reasonable preparedness, but not to the nth degree, okay? And now let's get into the second type of prepper. These are the real legitimate preppers, okay? And what I mean by that is these are the folks who are prepping to the nth degree. These are the folks who have Faraday caged their entire house. These are the folks that have a bunker in their backyard. These are the folks that do have punji sticks in their front yard. These are the folks that do have 10 years worth of food in their basement. This is the second group that I'm talking about. The thing here though is that, and this is where if you fall into this category, I'm not gonna make any friends. These folks have legitimate mental, psychological issues. And I'm going to go all nurse on you here for a second and say this is as evidenced by, check out some of the latter seasons of Doomsday Preppers. It wasn't the first season, maybe not even the second, but I know the later seasons of Doomsday Preppers, when they would introduce somebody on the show, they would start off with, on such and such date, this happened to me, and this is why I'm a prepper. These people are dealing with legitimate PTSD from something that has happened to them, and their prepping is self-treatment for that PTSD. And there comes a point where there's a healthy aspect to this of like, can you do it reasonably, or have you gone to the point where you're above and beyond, and now it's not actually quite a healthy thing to be doing, to be too prepared. I mean, I guess you can't ever be too prepared, but you get what I'm trying to say. There is reasonably prepared, and then there is, you've gone a little bit too far here, and you've gone a little bit too far because you actually have a mental, psychological issue, and you're dealing with something that has happened, and you're dealing with PTSD, and your prepping is self-treatment for that. Now, there are 2 groups that fall into this second group of legitimate preppers. So that's your first group. And those folks are the ones that you can get on shows like Doomsday Preppers. The second group, The second group are ones who deal with delusions of grandeur. These are the folks who actually believe that our government, some foreign government, or heck, even ninjas from space, are coming after them personally. Now, all I have to do to clear this up is that if said person is actually that important that said entity is coming after them, Epstein, enough said. So these are actual delusions of grandeur. So the people who are real legitimate preppers have some psychological and mental issues. Okay. Now, before you go, well, how do you know? Okay. As someone who works in healthcare, I know what I'm looking for whenever I encounter these people. And secondly, my little brother is one. My little brother is dealing with the PTSD end, and that is from his time in the military and a couple of tours overseas. And he's dealing with it, and it falls into the true prepper category. If he's got the stockpiles of things, and I'm not going to talk about it so that way he doesn't get mad at me for letting you know, because that's the other thing. True legitimate preppers, especially the ones with the delusions of grandeur, especially those, occasionally you can get the other group too, and hence doomsday preppers, that show. But the majority of real, genuine preppers, they don't talk about their preps. They don't get on social media and go, check out my food stores. They don't get on social media and go, check out all of my munitions and stockpile of ammo. They don't get on there and say, this is what I've done to protect my house. By the way, this is also a blueprint for you to reverse engineer it and get into my house. Legitimate preppers treat prepping like Fight Club. The first rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Well, the first rule of prepping for the real preppers is they don't talk about prepping, because they don't want you to know what they're prepping. They don't want you to come take their stuff. They want you weak because they don't want you to be a threat to them in the future. They're not here to help you. Real preppers don't do that. Now, this brings me into the third group of prepper, and these are what I like to define as the social media fake preppers. These are the folks who get on social media and use their platform to try and pander and sell unnecessary items to the second group of people. These are the ones who come on to their channel and say, in 2 weeks, World War III is going to start. Buy my stuff and you'll survive. And they've been saying that every 2 weeks for the last 5 years. These are the folks who say, in the next 48 hours, you will never be able to buy bacon again. Go buy all the bacon right now. These are the folks who get on their channel and say, I have it from a reliable source that we will be invaded in the next 12 hours. Buy my stuff if you want to survive. These people are absolute scum. They are garbage, and flat out, how dare you make a living off of scaring the living crap out of people who actually have mental, psychological disorders. Okay? How dare you? This brings me to my response to a comment that I got on a video. I did this video several weeks ago, and it was that the majority of people do not need a bug out bag. You can feel free to check that out. And the said person has one of these bigger prepper channels, almost 50,000 subscribers. So there you go. There's a lot of people with paranoia and PTSD who are unfortunately being preyed upon by this person. And he made a comment pretty much, and I'm going to condense it down because it was a novel, and pretty much was saying that I'm not a real prepper, which no, I'm not. I don't fall into category 2. I'm reasonably prepared. The second is, well, if you don't have a bug out bag, how do you intend to take care of your family? And that's why this video is here, because I don't care what you think of me. I don't care if you don't like the particular gear that I carry. I don't care if you don't like the color of my truck. I don't give a rip. But talking about my ability to take care of my family, especially being a new dad, yeah, we got problems. So here's my response to your overall statement. First, let's talk about one of your other videos and why you fall into the category of the third prepper, the fake prepper. You have a video trying to sell a $400 unit that you hook into your truck to make it EMP proof. Are you absolutely serious? So as a prepper, we're going to be concerned about an EMP harming your truck compared to all the other things that are out there. Because one thing you said in the comment was, well, you should have a bug out bag for what about that 1% chance? Okay, so let's say the 1% chance of an EMP. You know what's more likely to happen? You pick up a nail in the driveway or on your way to work and you end up with a flat tire. You talk about, in your comment, about civil unrest and things like that. Okay, so if there's civil unrest, small arms are going to take out a tire, are going to take out a radiator, or you can go through the windshield and take out the driver as well. Okay, so small arms. You're worried about an EMP, small fractional size of something that could actually happen, but you're not putting in run flats. You're not putting in armor plating in front of your grill to prevent your engine overheating because someone shot the grill of your truck. You're not concerned about bulletproof glass. You're concerned about such a small probability of something happening to your truck, and you want others to spend $400 on it so that way you can make a profit. Okay. I see where you're going here. I don't know how you sleep at night with yourself, but okay. So there's that you truly do fall into the category of that one. But now let's go ahead and talk about the actual comment that you made on my, well, why don't you have a bug out bag? And let's just first state that I went ahead and checked out your bug out bag video. I had to watch it twice, painfully the second time, because I noticed something that we'll get to here in a minute that I was like, we need to watch this and keep a tally. But okay, here we go. There is nothing in your bug out bag that is not already in my truck. I should say there's no component in your bug out bag that's not already in my truck. And by that, I mean, I might not carry the same beef jerky as you do, and I might have Esbit or trioxane where you have a different form of fire starter. You had Esbit stove and you had some other stuff in there too. So I might have a different version of something, but every component in your bug out bag, that's important. We'll get to that in a minute. Every component of something in your bug out bag, I have in my truck. The other thing is that I also have a haversack in the back of my truck that hangs off the back seat, that hangs off the back of the front seat, specifically for holding some essential items, being in Wyoming where it's freezing, specifically cold weather gear. But if I actually had to bug out of my truck, highly unlikely, but if I actually had to bug out of my truck, I would dump that bag, grab the individual pieces that I need, and go. Anyone who is a MacGyver fan on the pilot episode before Pete Thornton was Pete Thornton, he played another character in the first episode, and he looks at MacGyver and says, "What's all in the knapsack?" And he says, "Well, it's not," and MacGyver replies, "It's not about what I take with me, it's about what I find along the way." My brain is my most powerful tool that I've got, regardless of anything I've got anywhere in any vehicle or in my house. So there we go. Now let's actually talk about your bug out bag and how laughable this is, because it genuinely is. And remember, you started this. So first, you talk about the importance of, well, we need to have these components in here. And you go down your list and you have them all tick marked on there of like, we need communication, protection, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, well, you talk about communication, but then you have a radio that's just a normal AM FM radio, so you can hear, but you can't actually communicate out. So you've already failed yourself there on one aspect. The next thing is that you talk about quality and weight. Okay, let's talk quality here. You had two compasses, and they're both Walmart specials and completely garbage. I've had both because they're Walmart specials, and I was young once. And the first one is because it's on a keychain. Metal and compasses don't mix, so that compass is garbage. And the second one, if you bump it, your azimuth is going to be off. It doesn't function all that well. It's wobbly and goes all over the place. So if you're going to actually try and navigate with that thing beyond a mile, you're going to get lost. So good luck with that. I think you need to improve the quality of your gear. And quality doesn't necessarily mean expensive. You can get like a map compass, like the flat little ones. You can get those for like $10 off of Amazon from Silva. I prefer Silva and Sunto. Both of those are good brands. They make quality products and they are not all that expensive. If you need to get a good quality something or other, then you should probably do that if you're going to talk about quality. The next thing is you talk about weight. And this is where it gets funny. So first, weight. You talk about, okay, well, I have 2 fire kits, but you have both fire kits in the same pouch. Like literally, you open up the first fire kit and there's your second fire kit. So if you lose the first one, guess what? The second one's gone too. So that doesn't make much sense. But then you made it evidently clear that, okay, well, this would be what most people call a bug out bag, but for me, it's not a bug out bag. So you titled it what you should, so that way you could get your clicks. But then you say, well, actually, it's a get home bag, or it's a 72-hour bag. Okay, so again, you have 2 fire kits, but they're in the same one, so if you lose one, you've lost both. Now let's talk about your redundancy of your kit and how laughable this is, because you have not 1, not 2, but 3 Bic lighters. Now, usually in search and rescue, I went with the rule of 3s as well, so I'm not really shaming you for this, but just to start off this topic here because my rule of 3s for search and rescue, 1 is none, 2 is few, and 3 is glee. So 3 lighters, I'm not going to give you too much crap about that. I'm just setting the stage here. Because the next thing is you have 5 knives in your bug out bag and a knife sharpener too. So you mean to tell me for 72 hours or a get home kit, you are going to burn through the blades on 5 knives to the point that you need to sharpen them? First, you should probably pick a better quality knife. I mean, you've got one Leatherman, that should pretty much do you. But it looks more so like you went around the house and grabbed a bunch of stuff and threw it in the bag to say, okay, I'm prepared, I'm good, rather than actually thinking this kit through. Okay, 5 knives and a sharpener. So you're not really all that worried about weight, are you? But here's the kicker, the cruditant. 7 flashlights. No, I did not include your cache because it's not for producing light. I did include your wind-up flashlight, and I did include both of your chem lights as 1. So not 1, 2, 1 chem light 2. No, both chem lights is 1. 7 flashlights and extra batteries. Like, are you traveling in complete darkness for this 72 hours? Like, there's no moon, there's no sun during these 72 hours at all? At all? Okay. Let's talk about laughable here on the utmost redundancy and how much your kit does not make sense. But then here's the other part. At one point in your lengthy comment, I am trying to think back here to all of it because I can't remember all of it because I was laughing the whole time. But you talked about, well, what about civil unrest in situations like that? Okay, so you have a get home bag, because it's not a bug out bag, it's a get home bag according to you, or a 72-hour kit, and you brought up about, well, what about civil unrest? You need to make sure that you have all the equipment that you need for civil unrest. What if it's that 1% chance that civil unrest happens? For civil unrest, you're not a bug out bag for civil unrest includes, wait for it, includes bug spray and hand lotion. Not hand sanitizer, because that works for making a fire, like I can see that, but hand lotion. So for civil unrest, you need to have your hands all powdery and smooth and ready to go whenever you go to finger your sidearm. Hand lotion, and you're talking about the issues of civil unrest and weight. We've got bug spray and hand lotion in a bug out bag. We're talking about legitimate survival, and you're carrying hand lotion. If you want to play the what if game and what you should actually have in your kit, you should probably have stuff in there that makes sense. Okay, well, that's enough for me bashing this guy. I think he's probably had enough at this point. I could go on, but I'm kind of done. It's Sunday afternoon. I'm ready to go spend some time with my family, and yeah, enough of this. If you like hearing the truth, if you don't want someone cramming unnecessary products down your throat, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, it's Chris Mack.